Hi all, it's me Lauren, founder of This Girl's Enough. Can you tell what I done this morning? Everybody told me that Vaseline would stop that from happening, and I put the Vaseline on and it didn't. So I've now got a hair full of conditioner which I'm going to leave on until tomorrow because my hair is just fried in the sun and all the colour, and hoping that will come off in the morning with the next wash. Anyway, hi. I shouldn't imagine anyone would join me, that you'll all be outside drinking mojitos in the sun and having a gay old time. But I just saw a post about someone who's got a shitty dad, and I just wanted to share my experience and tell you how I'm dealing with it today, in the hopes that it will make some of you feel a little bit more balanced about it. I woke up this morning, as did anybody else who's got a really shit dad, and saw all the me and my dad pictures, and my dad's my hero and I love my dad. Hi Georgie. And you know, my dad's my biggest I can't even think of the words. My dad is everything. And it was like a punch in the guts, as it is every year, because I had a fleeting moment of but I'm not a daddy's little girl. Like, I don't have a dad that's worthy of any recognition. He thinks he is. Hi, Sam. My dad, hey, Butte. My dad used the term very, very loosely. My biological father impregnated my mother at some point and then left when I was about 3, and pretty much ballsed it up from there on in. And I was the little girl that was looking for a daddy and never found one. I got a stepdad who was just an incredible, incredible man, who in my head became my dad. And then, hi Letty, and then at about the age of 13, 12, 11, 12, right, I don't even know, he left too. So that was me 2 dads down. Brilliant. So days like today, I totally get it if anybody's struggling with the fact that their dad's a complete plank, and feeling a little bit of rejection or frustration or anger or resentment. Mostly anger, I think, and resentment. But what I done to put... Hi, Laura. I watched a film on Netflix last night, Tony Robbins, I Am Not Your Guru. And he said something really genius in there, which is what I'm going to share with you today. Because there was somebody in there who was struggling with the way that her mum or dad treated her. One of the parents, is always our fault. And he said, you blame your dad for that, don't you? She's like, yeah, I do. And you blame your dad for being shit, and you blame your dad for not being around, and you blame your dad for this, that and the other. And she was like, yep. And then he was like, but do you know what else you need to do? You need to blame your dad for making you the person you are today. You need to blame your dad for being so inadequate as a parent that you have become strong as a human. You need to blame your dad for, and he turned it on its arse. And it was like, and it goes for any parent, or in fact anybody that's wronged you, that you hold blame to. If you're quite willing to take them down and blame them for all the bad stuff, you may as well blame them for the good stuff too, to get some balance back for yourself. Hi, Steph. I'm not crying. I've got something in my eye. I'm not crying. If I was going to cry, I'd just cry. But I'm kind of over this shit anyway. But I just thought that was so interesting. And I was watching it last night, and I looked at my husband and just said, oh my God, that's a revolutionary way to look at it, actually. It's kind of on the levels of forgiveness, I guess, but people struggle with forgiveness because people often think that if you have to forgive, it means that you forget. We don't have to forget. But forgiveness is not giving them... It's not saying that what they done was okay, but it is saying that you don't need to feel the pain of it anymore. So the forgiveness is freeing you up, not them. It doesn't matter what they're doing or how they are or any of that. It only matters how you're doing and how you cope with stuff. So I thought it was just genius that he said, if you're going to blame them for the bad stuff, then go right ahead and blame them for the good stuff too. Because if my dad hadn't been such a prick, then would I be the person I am today? Probably not. He's whatever he's done in his behaviours, good and bad, ultimately my experience has made me who I am. And for that I am grateful, because directly in my life then I having had no relationship with my dad, I knew how fundamentally important it was that my children had a relationship with their dad when I got divorced. And if you read my blog about walking out on my children, it was that made me back down. It was the thought of my kids not having a relationship with their dad that made me back down and give them half the week, because it was so imperative to me that my children had a relationship with their dad. So yeah, I blame my dad for that, for giving me the strength to do that. Do you see what I mean? I blame him for being able to see my kids and what was most important for them when I went through a divorce, just like my dad had. Also, I blame him for setting a really low bar in parenting and in being a man, actually, because I'm fortunate enough that my kid's dad has stepped up and is he is a good dad. You know, he's still a dick, but he's a good dad and he has stepped up, and you know, he's got a great relationship with his children. It also set the benchmark for who I would allow around my children. And my husband now is my kid's amazing stepdad. Like I posted on this girl's page this morning about dads and what is a real dad. And my husband has had 3 children but raises 6.
Put it in the bin because it fell on the floor.
Yes, babe, just put it on your table. I'll be in a second and sort it out. So it's also given me that insight into what I need for my children in a father, in a role model, whatever. And I wouldn't settle for anything less. And that's come because my dad was a jerk. So I blame him for that too. You know, it's just when you start looking at it like that. Hi, Debbie. I totally hear you. I'm totally grateful for my steel and true grit, determination and success as a result of my dad never believing in me. If he was different, I wouldn't be me. That's the thing, isn't it, Debbie? You know, when you get to a point where you're happy with who you are, good and bad. I'm quite happy to point out my flaws. They're right there. You know, you can start looking at the legacy your parents left you in a really different way. And I find it really beneficial to look at it in that way, that if I'm going to blame them for the bad, I'm also going to blame them for the good. And that's some kind of forgiveness, and that he has given me something, even though at the time it didn't feel like it. So much love to all of you who are struggling with the dirty great hole lacking in your life of the father figure, or of dad, actually, of biological fathers, because we could all have father figures around us that are amazing, and I know my children do, but that aren't our dads, and that yearning for that special, see, even saying it makes me feel a bit sick, that kind of I think, I'm not sure it will ever stop, that wanting to have that dad, but I'm also sure it will never stop that we take ourselves apart because we're not feeling normal. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think we're always striving for something, and I think that for girls and dads, it's a really, really big one. It's a really big one. It's really emotional, and today is a fucking kicker for anybody whose dads are a waste of space. But I invite you to flip it on its arse and to look at who you are and all your amazing traits that you have because of that waste of space. Ta-da! Give it a go. It's very freeing, totally get you. It is freeing because, you know, we make the choice. Are we going to sit here in misery and give these dads any more emotion and time? Or are we going to move on from it and just think, no, do you know what? I'm not carrying all that again anymore. I'm actually going to reframe it and see what else he's given me without him even knowing it. It's freeing. This is the only post I've seen today that connects with me. Thank you. You're welcome, Debbie. Facebook is a cruel, cruel place on days like this. It really is, because, like I said, if you are in a place where, and I am, you know, I can sit here and preach and say I blame him for making me who I am, but I felt it this morning. There's always a knee-jerk initial reaction. It's how you process that reaction, how you react to that feeling is what's going to make the difference. I had the feeling this morning. I said to my husband, fuck's sake, I've not got any pictures of my dad to show. I've got one photo of my dad, just one photo. And to be quite honest, I wouldn't share it because I don't think he's worthy of being shared. But the way I reacted to it was I celebrated in my husband as a father, and then I went down and I wrote that post that I put on This Girl's Enough about what are real dads, to bring some balance back, because it's just not cut and dried, is it? It's just not. But you don't have to sit and feel sorry for yourself. You can build yourself up and go, do you know what, I fucking survived that. I'm fucking strong. I survived that. I've achieved all of this without the dad being around, yet I've still achieved all of this. That deserves a big high five and a big pat on the back. So we all know a dad of sorts. Let's celebrate that good man today. Whoever that good man is, whoever's daddy is, whoever, you know, celebrate the good men, and don't waste any more time or energy on the bad ones. And if you haven't seen it, pop over to This Girl Is Enough page and have a quick look at what I posted. Hi, Mandy. Just about to go. Oh, glitter on my face. Like that really matters, the glitter, when you've got all that going on. Can't believe I do this every single time. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, so if you've just joined, go back and watch the video from the start if you want to. If you're having a bit of a crappy day because dad's not around, not people who have lost their dad. That's not what I'm talking about. That's a whole nother kettle of fish. I'm talking about waste of space prick dads that had it all given to them and chose not to fucking enjoy it. Those dads. So there you go. I'm going to go off and enjoy the rest of my Father's Day with my amazing husband, who is an amazing stepdad to my children and an amazing father to his own kids. So celebrating that man instead of the twat that let me down. Okay, have a nice afternoon. Enjoy your day. Goodbye.